Hey guys, it's Tom Box. This video is a little bit different because I'm issuing to you guys the Flaming Goat Challenge. What the hell is a Flaming Goat Challenge? Well, I'll show you guys in a bit. Now, if you guys have been with MST.TV for some time now or seen some of my videos, you guys know that I'm an avid fan of hot sauces, and I love hot ones. You know, Sean Evans, awesome host. Well, I got my own collection of hot sauces as well, ranging from rather sweet and tasty to downright just inedible, and some of them just taste like fire. And for those sauces, it's perfect for challenges like these. And I think I'll be showcasing one video coming up where I got a couple people playing this Flaming Goat Challenge. And how do you play the Flaming Goat Challenge? Well, I'll show you guys a deck profile of what a Flaming Goat Challenge is and the rules behind it, and maybe you guys can warm up a little bit of your holiday with it. But you know, here's a little quick disclaimer. I am not responsible for any type of burn damage that you guys will be receiving throughout this challenge. And for those of you guys who cannot handle hot sauce or perhaps are lactose intolerant, maybe don't try this challenge. Okay, let's go see the deck profile and I'll explain the rules. Okay, it's a huge mess here. Let me just... Before I showcase the decks that are built towards this challenge, I want to give you guys some of the prep work and the rules, and then the decks will make a lot more sense. Alright guys, so prep work is very simple. You just have to prepare a batch of death wings using some of the craziest sauces. If you guys are asking me personally what I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using this Last Dab Triple X, the Bomb, Reaper Squeezin', and whatever the thing that has over 2 million Scovilles, and that's what I'm using. You guys don't have to copy my choices. Use something a bit more tolerable to your taste for your challenge. That's rule number one, or rather that's prep work. Rule number one is very simple. There's actually only 3 rules. Any type of burn damage that you take, no matter what number it is, you have to bite into your death wing. So this is more about chipping away at your opponent, making them feel really bad and prolonging their suffering. That's rule number one. So any type of effect damage, they have to bite into their death wing. Preferably if you use like chicken nuggets, it's easier because you can use a fork and then you can just dip it in and then you can play without worrying about dirtying your cards. Or you just have someone feeding you the wing and you eat while you play. Rule number 2, what happens if you gain life points? Does that mean I don't have to eat the wing? Well, it'd be kind of too late. You already ate the wing. So rule number 2 is that if you gain life points, if you gain per 1,000 life points, you get to bank a spoonful of ice cream for relief. That's right. You get relief, you get ice cream. Every game starts with 3 banked up scoop of ice cream just so that you can keep going. That's why both things, fork, spoon, so that you can prevent the mess. And you can even sell it off to your opponent if you really want to. It's just up to you. And finally, rule number 3. What about battle damage? Well, for every 2,000 points of battle damage, let's just count it from like 8,000 to 6,000 to like 2,000. Every increment of 2,000 that you take, you have to take a bite out of your death wing. So it can get quite painful very, very quickly. But Tom Box, what if I don't inflict 2,000 damage to my opponent? Well, then they don't have to eat the wing. It's quite simple. But they still take damage. So, into the Flaming Goats, this Flaming Goat Challenge, I would say keep in mind of all the rules that we've mentioned, and let's go into this deck profile. This deck profile is mainly to highlight how to build this Goat Challenge. So, starting off, you want to maximize the amount of pain against your opponent because this is what it's all about, and we want to see who can outwit each other. So starting off, we have a Solar Flare Dragon. Shoot a flaming hot flare right into your opponent during the end phase. During the end phase, your opponent will take 500 damage, causing them to bite into a wing. Then you have your next Instigator. Shoot the flaming hot wing right into their mouth with the Cannon Soldier. Why not? I don't know. Why wouldn't you shoot the flaming hot wing into them? But know that most of these monsters, attack point wise, most of these monsters should have below 1600 stat, in my opinion, if you really want to prolong and have fun in this and really to outwit your opponent's defenses. And this is where I'm kind of going. And it does feel a little bit like classic Yu-Gi-Oh! So anyone can really play it. They don't really need to be an expert at the game. And here's one of the win con cards right here. We have Stealth Bird. Stealth Bird is one card to really be feared because it has really high defense and it can constantly burn your opponent during each turn for 1,000. 8 of these and the game's basically over, so you want to make sure that you can kill this one as soon as possible. As you can see, Solar Flare Dragon and Cannon Soldier cannot run over its defenses. However, one of the ways to beat Stealth Bird is that when it's set, you attack into it because You take the damage, but it's not over 2,000 battle damage, so you won't be eating the wing. And it's up face up, so it has to flip itself face down and then flip summon. Now it'd be in attack position, and you can actually kill it. So they'll have to choose whether or not they want to inflict damage to you. So there's a lot of skill involved when it comes to dealing with the stealth bird. But there are other monsters that have high attack as well. Here's one. We have Muscle Medic with 22. Wow, this card can immediately just kill the stealth bird. But here's the catch. Anytime that this card would create, or anytime a battle involving this card, all the battle damage becomes life gain to that player. So if you attack into a stealth bird, your opponent will be gaining some relief. They'll be getting ice cream because you're giving them some love right there. The card itself says love. All right. But you can convert that love into hate very easily by summoning a Dark Lord Nurse Revikyo, and someone will burn for it. So you can convert that so that any single time they gain relief, now it's a problem because now they're just burning themselves and eating more and more deliciously burning hot wings that's definitely not going to leave a ring of fire the next day. And moving forward, speaking of life gain, if you gain life, your opponent can take damage through the use of Fire Princesses, and that's why your opponent cannot just sit behind a wall. If they sit behind a wall and not take damage, well, you can eventually inflict damage, and you can still inflict damage with the Stealth Bird and the Solar Flare, but a lot of the times some people want to just go for the win con, just beat your opponent down, and then they're going to have to eat wings regardless, and then ultimately eat the entire bucket because they went down to 0, and one guy's gonna get the nice bucket of ice cream in exchange. Now, as for the walls, there's actual walls here. We have Blast Spheres, which you can summon to crash into cannon soldiers, but you rather want to set these ones just in case. And you also have Marshmallow. These are actually very important for the upcoming next 2 cards because you need something to wall against some of the bigger threats. And these are ways to remove some of those bigger threats while inflicting burn damage to your opponent. And of course, when this one flips, 1,000 damage right out of the door. Really fun for, well, I guess it's really fun for me, not for my opponent. But here's some of the removers. Of course, we're going to have Lava Golem. Of course, we're going to have Volcanic Queen, because why not? These ones are here to maintain, and these ones do have over 2,000 attack points, but they do come at a cost of either losing some monsters or taking 1,000 damage. And this one's guaranteed 1,000 damage, so you need to find some way to remove it, or else you're going to be biting. Every single time Lava Golem hits you, it makes sense. It's hitting you with a fireball in the face, so you're gonna have to take a bite out of those wings. Same with Volcanic Queen. Another exchange, you give him a monster like this, you tribute your opponent's cards, well then you're going to have to be able to, well, take it back. And speaking of taking it back, you can definitely take these cards back with a Grand Mole. And the Grand Mole is also one way to kind of remove that Stealth Bird. Of course, the Grand Mole can't make you burn because it's too weak, but it does give you that option, very similar to Grand Mole plus Kaiju. And that is, to me, it's actually kind of fun to do this. And we have hand traps, guys. And there's no hand trap better to represent this game than Flame Eater. Of course, it eats up your flame. So whenever something's going to activate and inflict burn damage to you, you can special summon out this card. And that effect damage becomes 0. However, there is a catch. Both of you are now going to burn now because whenever this card is normal or special summon, inflict 500 damage. Now note that it has 1600 defense, so typically you want to put it in defense position because most things can't run it over, and you have, well, 1200 attack points, so that's not very good. But unless the board is empty, you can go ahead and do that swing. Now, other hand traps, of course, we're going to stick with the Perform H lineup. We have Triple Damage Juggler. This is basically your Ash Blossom because it is your Negate All, Destroy All. You can use this to kill, say, a Marshmallow because it inflicts damage and you negate the activation of cards and you destroy them. So this is also really good. You can use this to search out Flame Eater, or you can use it to search out Hat Tricker. And if you can get out the Hat Tricker, you basically survive the burn. Your opponent will 100% not try to burn you until they kill this, because putting this to 33 becomes a massive problem unless they have another form of removal. And since it's really easy to special summon out this card as long as there's like 2 or more monsters in the field, well, it's well, you just summon it out, and it gains counters for every single time you're supposed to burn. And you can't burn because any effect damage you take is 0. So overall, this is a threat to remove right away, because if it comes 33, it'll start inflicting burn damage. It's charged up, guys, And as for the last 2 relief, we have our Ice Cream of Life Force Harmonizer. It's literally just negate and destroy. It's very similar to the Damage Juggler. And finally, we have Hanewata, the relief, our little cream puff with wings. Yeah, you just don't take effect damage for the rest of the turn. Really nice stuff. Really easy, the go-to. Now let's go into some consistency cards. If you notice that I call this the Flaming Goats, we have to have some cards related to the Goat format. We have, of course, Pot of Greed. And we also have Graceful Charity. And then, of course, we have Delinquent. No, we don't have Delinquent Duo. We want some stuff to kind of represent the game a little bit more. But these two are just adding consistency because you don't have anything to really give you consistency aside from, like, the Damage Juggler that are able to search. So we have other cards to give us a little bit more consistency as well. Starting off with, say, our Upstart Goblin. You draw a card, your opponent gains a scoop of ice cream. That sounds fair enough to me. But you know, if your opponent's already suffering, maybe you want to hold this back and just to like make them scoop, make them suffer a little bit longer. So this is a bit of a shadow game, guys. Now, as for more consistency, we have Pot of Duality, just to dig cards out. You don't special summon a lot, but if you go into like a Lava Golem, it doesn't mean that you can summon it out right away, because Lava Golem is pretty OP in this whole format. And then we also have One Day of Peace, because it's fair. No one takes damage. You both get to draw a card. This is your peace offering to both of you guys. But if you're not into the whole peace offering kind of thing, then you can play Share the Pain. Special rules on this card. House rules for me is that if you play this card, you tribute one of your cards, your opponent tributes one of their cards, you both have to eat a wing because you're sharing the pain. Unless you're not feeling the pain, then you'll be fine. Now, as for monster removal, we have Soul Taker as well, because Soul Taker is giving your opponent life points. But if you have Nurse, of course, your opponent burns for the 1,000 as well as losing their monster. Really powerful card. Now, we go into some of the more fun ones. Tremendous Fire. Both of you eat a wing. We have Rain of Mercy. Both of you get ice cream. Or we have Poison of the Old Man. You get the choice of getting the ice cream or giving your opponent the flaming wing. So this is well, we'll definitely be able to tell what kind of person you are after these cards. And to deal with the Stealth Bird, I added one card of Nobleman of Crosso because that's the card they usually want to set back face down. You can use this to kind of get rid of that win con and then try to outwit your opponent with the remaining monsters. Careful usage of the Damage Juggler is key to surviving this challenge because it has monster effect removal. Basically, it can destroy the monster, and yeah, you have options after that, and you can do the battle damage. Inflicting battle damage is more important than you think, and I have double MST because we are MST.TV. Well, no, because there's actually some traps that you want to get rid of, and they are very, very threatening. Starting off with a Magic Cylinder, you'll take some burn damage if you try to swing into some threat that you want to get rid of. Now you're taking even more damage. Or you want to get rid of all your opponent's attack position monsters by using Blazing Mirror Force. But both of you will have to eat wings for it. And we have Draining Shield so that you can gain a little bit more relief. And if you're going to get a Ring of Fire, might as well do it with a Ring of Destruction. Both of you will burn. Let's use the old GOAT rules for the card. And then we have Ceasefire to kind of identify which set card is which, because a lot of people are kind of scared to swing into some of those monsters. But Ceasefire will also turn off the Blast Spheres, which I think this is like a good way to kind of remove that kind of threat. And finally, we have Double Solemn Wishes. This card is actually very, very pricey for a common card from PSV. Solemn Wishes is a $5 common. Yeah, but it does provide you with a bit of ice cream relief as long as you have both of them up on the field, or you let this activate over 2 turns. You'll gain over 1,000 life, or you'll gain 1,000 life for the cards that you draw, and then you'll be able to get some banked up ice cream scoops. All right, so those are the decks. How do you win? How do you play? If you look at the stat line of these, it's really fun. Trust me on this one. You want to just play it firsthand, and it will feel like a GOAT deck. I tested this one with Nishi before. It feels like a GOAT deck in terms of like skill wise, managing your resources, and like not wasting your damage jugglers, and controlling your back row properly, all that stuff. It's really, really fun, especially when you're playing in a mirror match in this setting. I guess I can throw in some extra bonus cards that you guys can try. Things I've experimented with. We have Sparks, Asleep at the Switch. This is when you gain life points to target a monster your opponent controls and destroy that target. You have Forbidden Chalice to deal with the Marshmallow. You have I guess a Menko, and we also have ourselves. We even tried like ectoplasm, but people kept on forgetting the mandatory effects. So I decided to simplify the game so that anyone can play it. That's why I went with the card choices I went for this particular challenge. Okay, so I've got my chicken and I got my last dab XXX. First, I'm just gonna have this before we go into the actual thing, all right? Just so that you guys don't think I am a total butthole for making other people eat it later on. So we got the dab. It's okay, I'm not the only one eating this. My brother's actually here eating it with us. it's L7. All right, you got yours. He's got his dip. He's vegetarian, so he's using bread. You got yours in?
No. Here it is.
All right, let's do it. It's not that bad.
Actually, this one's not bad.
This one's not that bad. Do you know what? 5 out of 5. Not that painful. Okay, let's start looking into the actual problem. Okay, time for me to go into the problem. So we've got the bomb, XXX, and we got Reaper squeezing all in one. All the hottest ones I have, and we're just gonna have at it. Okay. All right, got this. Oh man, it's so coated. You guys can't see, I don't know what they feel like. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Do you
need some soy milk?
I'm good. Thanks, bro. Can you try some?
It's okay, bro.
Here, have some.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's joining in.
Whoa, no, that's too much.
Woo! Ah.
Good boy. I'm going to hold your stuff.
Wow.
You got the bread, man.
No, the bread's not bad.
Oh my god.
I can feel my tongue burning.
Don't worry, I'll go away in 10 minutes.
That's longer than wasabi.
This is hotter than that last challenge I did. By far. Reaper is the worst.
No, I just dipped it back in the XXX.
You just added more. What are you doing?
I thought it wasn't that bad.
It's done, bro. Your food's done.
I'm blind.
Michelle, give me a glass.
Want some soy milk, bro?
Don't worry, Michelle's getting it. Michelle's getting it. Hook me up. See? I'm part of the problem.
Here.
Okay, now I have no sympathy to the people that are joining me in on this.
All I feel is burning on my tongue and
It's going. No, the milk. It's going away. You just feel the milk going away. Thanks for joining in on this, bro. Didn't think you would. Should I want to join?
No, I'm good.
my vision is very blurry.
Oh man, I feel alive. It feels good to be alive. My tongue is on fire. All right, so who's finishing the rest of this? Good luck, bro. Can't put it to waste. We don't waste food in this household. So take this challenge at your own risk, guys. Oh man, I don't feel pity for whoever that's eating it since I went through it. So, okay, so we have. You guys can't call me. Oh my god. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed meeting a part of my family, hit that thumbs up button. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, hit the subscribe and ding the notification bell. Really appreciate it. Consider it as a Christmas gift to me, as I have just suffered the triple X. To be honest, this sauce is quite tasty. It's got a very curry-esque feel. I think it's because of the cumin in there, but it is probably the spiciest. I've had the double X, I've had the single X, and the triple X definitely is the spiciest one of them all, but this one is tolerable. Very spicy, but still tolerable. The Reaper squeezing, I don't recommend that sauce if you're an amateur to eating spicy food. Yeah, that's all I got for this one. So I'll see you guys in the next one.